What's up, Jack? Thank you for taking some time to chat with us on KROQ.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Where are you right now in the world? I see you're in a studio set up, but are you in Hawaii as we speak?
Yeah, I'm at home in Hawaii. And
Let's.
I'm at the studio.
I know you're going to be here in Southern California very soon. We'll talk about BeachLife Ranch, of course, but let's just talk about Hawaii for starters, because hopefully you felt the spirit that we are attempting to send over from the mainland to everyone there on the island. And what's it been like you've been in Hawaii pretty much the whole time as this was happening in Maui, right?
Yeah, so it's neighbor island. I'm a few islands over. Hard to put it into words. It's so sad. Obviously, I'm not right there, but so many close friends and family that do live on Maui. So my heart goes out to everybody. We're doing what we can as a community to try to rally behind that area. And but almost every day, talk to another friend that's either lost, loved ones or a house or just close friends of mine that have a lot of family over there. And so the stories, yeah, unfortunately, are just kind of nonstop. And it's long healing process and a long rebuilding process, but it's a strong community. So hopefully hoping the best for them.
I was reading kind of two different narratives on whether or not people should be visiting the islands right now. And I wondered where you stood on it because, on one hand, people are like, no, don't visit right now. It's a terrible time to visit because they have to rebuild. But then on the other hand, the Hawaiian Islands thrive so much on tourism, and that's a huge basis of their economy. So, as somebody who was raised there, where do you stand on whether or not people should be visiting the islands right now?
That's a really tough question. I think it depends on each neighborhood that you're in. You'd have different answers. I don't feel like I have the ability to speak really on that. Just it's up to that community right there. So I'm just trying to listen more. I've definitely heard both sides. There's obviously people who still have their businesses and trying to keep things up and running, and whether that's based on tourism or just community around. I think it's different for everyone, but there's a lot of people that are hurting and really up against everything. They just literally lost everything they have. And so trying to listen to those voices more than my own. Like I said, I'm a few islands over. So just trying to respect all the voices from the community that's been hit so hard.
Well, this is very cool of something that you're doing as part of Beach Life, because a portion of the ticket sales purchased to see you at Beach Life are going to go to the Maui relief effort as well. So it's another way that people can support what has been going on there. And as you know, you're going to be back here in Southern California the 22nd through the 24th for Beach Life, back in the sand, playing in the sand where you belong. Do you ever get annoyed when you have to go somewhere and play where your feet are not touching sand? Is it harder to play on concrete or something?
That's a good question. All joking aside, it actually, I really do prefer playing outside. I love play. Every once in a while I find myself indoors these days, and it is trickier for me, but that can be fun too. It just feels a little different, but it's there's something about playing our group of songs. A lot of these songs were sort of written outside. I tend to write a lot when I'm on a camping trip. I tend to write a lot when I'm sort of just sitting on my front porch. It's kind of where I go to for solitude and where I write a lot of the tunes. So playing them outside, and when you can, I do have several songs that are about sitting under the stars or the moonlight. And it's so when you play those songs and you're together with friends and you're outside, it does mean a little more for me. And it's a nice place to be playing them.
Do you have any pairs of closed-toed shoes? I feel like every time I see a video or a picture of you, you're in flip-flops. How many pairs of shoes do you actually own?
I do have a pair of shoes, and I probably have several, but they're kind of like sitting around in places where I left them. And it's funny, my friend Kizzy O'Neill, who's a close friend, but also helps with managing me and everything. It's almost every time I got to play like some kind of a fancy event, I have to, Kizzy, you got to give me a pair of shoes, and so she has to get me a pair of closed-toed shoes that I can slide on.
Get out your formal flip-flops. This is a big event we have. Well, it's funny because we were just talking on our show here at KROQ about how the younger people, the millennial generation, or I guess the Gen Zs, are not showing their toes off as much anymore in public, because apparently nowadays you can just sell pictures of your feet all over the internet. People are buying them. And guys like you, in fact, I'll show you right now. I got my toes out right now, but apparently we're just giving them away for free. We're just giving our toes away for free.
I'm not sure we should even spend the time for me to try to understand what you're talking about.
Well, another thing about Beach Life is that you're going to be performing amongst friends. I mean, right? You friends with the Abbott Brothers and the Dirty Heads and Rome from Sublime with Rome. So, do you guys are you guys planning on carpooling from the hotel? Are they going to be mad if you miss their set? Are you going to see them?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be around as much as possible. Like you said, so many friends there. A few Donovan Frankenreiter as well, who we've been making music together. Actually, Donovan and I learned how to play our first chords together, literally from my dad's friend. Like we were sitting around learning how to play G and C and D and stuff when we were teenagers. And so our musical journey has been a lot of fun just to share together. And we love playing music anytime we're in the same town. Bahamas, another great band that'll be around. So like you said, there's so many good collaborations. I love when I see a lineup where it's a bunch of friends that I get to play music with. And this is going to be one of those for sure.
I'm always curious if, as someone who's on the lineup, do you look at it the same way we do? Because when we first see a new festival, we get all excited and we usually start at the big font. We make our way through and we're like, oh, cool. That's so cool. Love that. Are you doing the same thing because you're like, oh, that's my buddy right there. Hey, look, there's my friend. Or do you get the tip off ahead of time through text? Or do you learn on the flyer like we do?
No, it's almost the exact same thing. I'm such a music fan. I do the same thing. I look through the font and I kind of like, but I guess now it hits me in two different ways. Like there's some people where I see it as a challenge of like, we've never met and I would love to play music with that band. And then the other ones of like, oh, guarantee we're gonna have a good jam because we've done it before, you know. So it's fun to look down the lineup. I'm a music fan. So there's some sets I just want to go watch, you know, from the side and stuff. And if we get a chance to play music backstage, that's a bonus.
You're such I think you've always been such a laid back guy. At least that's the image that you put out. And you've always got these good vibes. What actually pisses you off and brings you to a 10? Is it anything?
Yeah. It's funny because I get kind of labeled over time. All my best friends kind of laughed as they started seeing these things coming out about the mellow guy, you know, and all this stuff, because I'm actually pretty competitive when it comes to a lot of things, bocce ball or croquet or pickleball nowadays, like anything. And I'm not very good at any of those, but it's like, I want to win. And my friends know that. Like, if people think I'm mellow, they should see my friends because they all think I'm kind of like the most aggressive one.
You're the hothead. So
I'm the hothead of the group.
So if someone says, I think I may have just seen Jack Johnson throw a pickleball paddle at the net and curse, that's possible that would have happened?
Yeah, it definitely has happened for sure.
That's amazing. That'd be so great. That's a story I got to tell. Well, this is exciting because whenever you're back here, it's always a big thing. You know, you went to school not too far from here at UCSB, and now you're going to be back in Southern California as part of BeachLife Ranch. We were at the BeachLife that happened the previous one. That was a good time. Yeah. And we'll be back at it again the 22nd through the 24th. You can actually use code Jack Johnson if you'd like to when you buy your tickets and save for your performance on Friday. Of course, we said a portion of the proceeds for the tickets sold will go to the Maui relief effort, so it's a good thing there as well. And we're just super excited to have you out. Do you have any surprises, any cameos? Because that seems like the thing now. It's not enough anymore for you just to go on stage and play. It's like, and now, unexpected guest. Do you have anything you can drop on us that you know, anyone that will be stopping by your set?
I'm too lazy for that. I hope people are happy enough with Donovan in the Bahamas and anybody else you see on that thing, you know. Now, but you never know. That's one thing with us. We don't plan too far ahead, but if we find out somebody's in town that we love playing music with, we always invite them. That's my favorite part of this whole thing, is getting to collaborate and make music with friends. So yeah, hopefully there'll be some surprises, but I can't claim that I've planned that far ahead.
Do you have any prediction as to how soon after you start playing that you will smell weed smoke? I feel like it's 4 seconds.
I don't think after I start playing. It's usually like as I'm walking out on the
that's right.
You know, it depends on which town in America, but yeah, I think it'll probably be before I start my first chord.
There you go. He already won the bet. Get out your best pair of open-toed shoes and go see Jack Johnson, and everyone else will be there at BeachLife Fest. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on KROQ. It's good to have you back. Great Jack Johnson. Thanks, Jack.
Thanks a lot. Take care.